Okay, we're going to try to do a live here. Not sure if it's gonna let me. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Not enabled. Okay. Well, okay, so I can't do a live. Oh, I could do a live on Facebook. Perhaps that's what I'll do. Yeah, I'll do a live on Facebook then. The new YouTube channel is not set up for live yet. Live on Facebook. Here we go. Is it gonna? Hey, it says I'm live. Let's see if Facebook shows it live. Oh, okay. I just saw that. Yay. Okay. I hope I'll be able to see the comments. Let's go over here. Oh, okay. Oh, why isn't that working? Okay, guys, I'm sorry if there's anybody watching. This is all new. And something's trying to tell me it's not working. And I don't see what I need to do. Okay, well, if if there's any comments, I can't see them anyway. So, all right, well, I'm just going to go on and and do what I came here to do. Okay, so I tried to go live on my new channel, Sassy Seer Sheila on YouTube. But it says I'm not enabled. That feature is not enabled yet. So, and I think that might have something to do with the number of subscribers. And right now, I'm happy to report that 11 of you have actually found me. What I don't understand, I guess I still don't understand how Rumble works, because even though that's been over there for, I don't know, about at least 2 years now, there's not any more subscribers over there, or what they call followers. So I don't know how that works. And, you know, it's Conscious Conversation Central over on Rumble. And if you search for it, you can find it. Okay, so some stuff has come in that, I don't know, I'd love to get some feedback on from the rest of you guys about this, because okay, so there's been some things that were like, you know, one way, but then this morning, Lisa shared something with me that I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, so y'all know the whole reason that it's a brand new channel, right? They didn't exactly say why. I didn't get any kind of warnings, but apparently now, from what I'm understanding, from what I'm understanding, oh my. Okay, so I was trying to see the Cindy. I'm so glad to see you, because this may, I don't know, may not affect you personally, because you're, as far as I know, you're not doing YouTube stuff, but apparently some of the larger readers are receiving warnings about the graphics on their tarot cards. that I guess I don't know. I'm just now hearing this, so I don't know the truth of this. I haven't spoken to any readers. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised because of all the silliness that's going on. And yet the absolute comedy for me of the fact that on the one hand, we're celebrating Pride, which to my knowledge has always incorporated naked beings wandering around, showing it all to everyone. And apparently it's okay for children to be exposed to these things. Every video I ever put out, as a matter of fact, I set my channel up to say that, no, this channel is not for children. It is for adult entertainment purposes only. And it is up to the parent to be the one to see who and what sees what, not big you, or excuse me, why, as in this case, or, big government, to make the decision, right? So I don't know. I thought this is kind of, it's funny to me in many ways, I guess. Cindy said, haven't heard, but not online a lot this year. Well, this last year, I don't blame you, me either. Like I said, the fact that I was just told this, and I don't even really know exactly what's being said to these folks or how they're handling it or anything else. But as I move through this new now channel, which Cindy, in case you weren't aware, the other one that began with my last name and then Rising was shut down with no warning, no nothing. So please feel free to go over and subscribe to my new channel, Sassy Seer Sheila. And we'll try it one more time and see what, see what we get. But if you really want to make sure you don't miss anything, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how much will actually live on YouTube. Because I know how to work stuff between Zoom and YouTube, I will probably always have a YouTube channel in some form or fashion. But I have figured out the easiest way to move things from YouTube to Rumble. Now, I don't have that set up yet on the new channel, but I will by the weekend's end. And so everything that I do on Sassy Seer Sheila will also appear on the Rumble channel. Now, also know that there will be things that I record that will not appear on Sassy Seer Sheila. So if I were you, I'd make sure to get over to Conscious Conversation Central on Rumble and subscribe, because that is where more of the actual conversation type information will take place. Now, there will be some live things, and there's a couple of housekeeping things for, those that have followed me for a while that haven't maybe had the opportunity to know. My housemate and partner in this, YouTube venture here, although she's been rather silent of late, has been in what her team invited her guidance team, her inner guidance team. We all have one. She has taken years to get in touch with hers. And she was issued a sort of, invitation to join them in a self-mastery masterclass. And part of, as she was going through this class, she was then asked by the team, and they wanted her to take some time to feel into it before she committed as to whether or not she would then like to share what she has been learning from her guidance. And so today is the first of those workshops that she has been, now that she has completed the course herself, the next step in this, because it's, and these are not her words, these are more mine. Well, but they did give it, it's everybody learns a little and teaches a little. That's for every being on the planet, in my view. There really shouldn't be any sort of, what people would call gurus, where you just hang on every word they say and you do everything they tell you to do verbatim, because those days, that's what programming looks like. And for me, those days are completely gone and over. And what it now looks like, and this is what I think makes people like myself, my partner, and others more dangerous, is that you got to stand in your own sovereignty and say, no, thank you. I don't think I care for that any too much. I like what you got going on over there. So maybe I'll add that to my repertoire. I'll tweak it a little bit to suit me. And I like this over here a little bit, and I'll take that and tweak it a little bit to suit me. And, in all honesty, I think that's what we all do to the most part anyway, except for when we do fall prey into the, and where we push aside those little niggling misgivings that we have when we hear things, right? Because we think somebody else knows better than we do, when in fact, that couldn't be the worst thing you could do for yourself on every level. Well, hello, Edwin Burgess. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. And so if by chance you didn't hear about this self-mastery mastery class and you are interested, you can reach out to Lisa at Rush Solutions TFT, and that stands for Tools for Transformation. So Rush Solutions TFT at gmail.com. Do it now, and you may be able to get into today's class that happens at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And so it's a 2-hour workshop, and the first hour is presentation, the second hour is for questions and conversation. And so I haven't been here for a while, and luckily for me, none of the cards that I have, I don't think, now I do have a Rider-Waite deck, but I don't usually use it very much. So hopefully my deck won't be banned on, well, that's right, I'm not on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. Well, who knows? You never know. If I disappear from here, y'all will know why. Oh, well, things happen as they're meant to. And, like I said, I will keep coming back as long as it feels like it's the thing to do in one way, shape, or form or another. And because it's all for me been about self-exploration. Oh, good morning, Heather Frost. I have so enjoyed watching your journey on Facebook, my love. I'm so glad you could join me. I hope that you will come over and subscribe to my new channel, since my other YouTube channel was taken off without warning. I didn't know if you were aware of that. And as soon as I get more subscribers, and I'm not even sure how many I have, to be honest with you, I will be doing lives on that channel again. Like I said, there will be, ooh, okay. Oh, we got 2 this morning. Oh my goodness. Card number 42 was first. Sovereignty is the way, better than the dictatorship that is sold as democracy. Oh, too true, honey. I keep having this issue for myself, not issue, but it comes up every single time I hear anybody talking about a threat to our democracy. Yes, we need to have a threat to the democracy, because quite frankly, this country is not a democracy. It's not meant to be, at least, a democracy. It's a republic. There are differences. Democracy is mob rule. Look it up. Look it up. Democracy is mob rule. And I think we're seeing the effects of some of that right now. And language is a tricky thing, man. I'm telling you, language is a tricky thing. And this is why. 1,000 subscribers. No, that can't possibly be, Heather, because I didn't have 1,000 when they shut me off this time. I only had 512. That's the other thing. I had 2,000 subscribers on Conscious Conversation Central. There, I got 3 warnings, and then they shut me off on the 3rd time, right? And that's all because of what I was talking about in the conversations, because of what was going on and how everybody was not standing up for themselves. And well, that wasn't allowed. And so, yes, that's correct, Heather. That's what I thought. You see, so when I had the other channel, Corona Rising, already, because I had thought I would try to do just a tarot. It was actually originally Corona Rising Tarot, and I took it off when I lost the other channel. So it's all about, I really do feel it's about frequency, okay? Because again, I don't have a lot. I didn't have then a lot of subscribers. Truth speakers. Well, it's more than that, my love. I feel like it's a frequency thing. It really is, because there's yeah, this last time, the reason I think that they took me out, Lisa's mom is also a projector. She's a splenic projector. And as soon as she heard about what happened, she said, oh, it's because she did those fundraisers for Crystal. I'm going to tell you right now. And you know what? I think she's right. I think she's right, because one of the things in the letter that I got that says that is in violation, and this is where every YouTuber ought to be taking notice. You cannot put external links in your stuff. If you do, it's in violation. So there will not be any external links. You have to pay attention, and you got to write it down. I will spell it for you, or you could look me up. I don't know what to say, but I think that's what did it in. And every video I ever put out always had my PayPal in it. It had my Cash App in it. It had a link to the Rumble in it. It had my email address in it. It had all kinds of links in it to external things. And so every single one that I know of, every YouTuber out there has that on their channel. And so by the very fact that they didn't even give me any kind of explanation as to why, tells me that she's right. She's absolutely right, because I did an end run around not only YouTube, because now they have a way to have fundraisers. I did an end run around GoFundMe. I did, because I was having people Cash App her directly. I mean, she's a single mom who uses her metaphysical business as a way to support her children. And her child was having open heart surgery in Charleston. And I am ever so grateful to all of you who participated in those tarot-a-thons, because that was so beautiful of all of you to do. And I'm so happy. I hope you are seeing that she has come through that surgery like a champ, man. I'm hoping to have a conversation with her very soon about all of how they're doing and everything. Heather said, what, how do all these people drive traffic to their businesses? What? No, exactly. See, but they're not messing with other people. I think it's there so that if they want to, because who reads that stuff? Who reads that stuff? Because I sure as hell didn't until I had a problem. None of us read the terms and conditions, because they are hiding so much legalese in that stuff and it's so long, we all just want access. I know I never did, so I'm guilty. I know I'm guilty. That's why I just go away and do something else. So okay, y'all don't want to play with me, that's fine. I tried it. It didn't work, so I'll go do something else. No big. It's Okay, so let's get to the reason why I came, hey? So this is the first card that came out. Card number 42, which is a 6 numerologically, love, balance, harmony. And it is the dance of the divine feminine, which I have to say, you know, I really do feel like there's so many energies in the mix right now. And I'm so grateful that having taken a lot of time to feel into energies and myself and learning where I stand within me has been so helpful for allowing me to make a decision in regards to things that come at me, right? Because it can be the languaging, come on, y'all, that's being used to keep those who we may otherwise classify as asleep. The languaging that is being used plays upon heartstrings. Please keep all of that in mind as well, right? So Heather said legalese is crimes against humanity, law of maritime, and oh please, and in the event that you're not aware, Conscious Conversation Central actually really ended up with 2,000 viewers because of my involvement in the alleged trial in Knoxville. So I'm very well aware of what you speak. I'm also aware that it's an inside job and each being has to come to it on their own. It has nothing to do with what they are doing out there. And I know that's really because I for the longest time, and I'm not, sometimes when my little ego being steps in, I still don't quite grok it. It's not, but it's like more and more the larger part of me is seated in here in portions. Oh wow, I just noticed something. I kept that like that larger portion is on this side. Okay, that's very interesting because there's been things about this side for me that I'm addressing. Oh, very interesting. I saw what I was doing there with my hands. Okay, so this is from the Rumi Oracle, my favorite deck. Dance of the Divine Feminine. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood still like the rocks, they could not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours the rain of sweetness. I have given you only a few examples. You can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. Holy crap. I swear that's kind of what we were speaking on, wasn't it? Because that's really what it is. Realizing that the inner me has my best, not just the inner me, the soul me, the divinity, that which wishes to drive the vehicle. If the little ego would just fully take shotgun. Because sometimes, my smarmy does not want that. Oh, Crystal Hemphill in the house. I was just talking about you. You must have heard me. You must have heard me. Edwin said, I use the OPP filings from Heather to be sovereign, but we have to be very careful with that. The system is doing as nothing has changed. Absolutely, that's my entire point, my love. That's exactly what I mean to say. They're not obeying their own rules right now. So what? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's why I said, okay, all right, I see what you got going on right now. You think you're in control of this over here, so I'm gonna let you be in control of that over there. I'll just move over here and have fun over here. Because in all honesty, I mean, honestly, oh, I could get all hot and bothered and stewed about it and all that kind of stuff. But what is that going to do to the quality of my life? And in the end result, if the truth of what I said to all of you is that I do this for me, so what would that look like for me then? Not a whole lot of fun. So, good gravy. I love this coming out like this. How can your feet bear to be still when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you not arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, saying in an absolute submission, yes, more? You were made to move and groove, to love and flow. Even mountains change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestrations of love. And I've learned finally at 61 years of age that love is different for every being, and that in the end, the happiness and joy that I cultivate in my life is love, and it's filled with that compassion. And even suffering is love, but a lot of beings don't think that way. That's what this refers to, I feel like, up there. You may feel unsettled, beloved, as though the ground beneath you is not so solid. You may touch it to see, is it moving? Of course, it is hurtling through the skies, spinning, tilted on its axis. It's amazing you aren't passed out on the floor in utter dizziness, yet you stand there, imagining you have a choice of not moving. What funny foolishness. Let us laugh about it together. How can you even imagine it? Only through some misplaced fear. It is such a small craziness, really. You can cast it off, that small, crazy fear. Let it return to the Earth Mother to become fertilizer for the far grander and more exciting insanity of divine love instead. Give up that tiny insanity in favor of the greatest craziness of love. You cannot be unmoved by it. The rhythm of life will get you shaking your hips eventually. How could you not become entranced by the gleaming dance floor, shimmering with possibility and invitation? This oracle comes to you with guidance. Your life may feel as though it is being tipped upside down. Perhaps you feel as though the great beloved, in a feisty mood, has grabbed your ankles, is holding you upside down and shaking you wildly until your skirt is over your head or the pockets of your pants become freed of their contents, keys and wallet, dropping to the floor in disarray. Yes, I'll remind everyone, as Crystal did join us, that she helped me see that just 2 weeks before the channel was taken off, I was wondering if I even needed to continue doing the channel. I kind of brought that about myself as well, right? If we are creators, right? So, beloved, wait a minute. Wait. Where is it? Yeah. So the beloved will give you that gift, but don't imagine it will last for too long. The great beloved esteems you capable of so much more than being sure-footed and sensible. You are capable of whirling and stumbling whilst inspired by the music of the spheres. If you just accept the great invitation to dance, there won't be so much roughhousing going on. See, there's a lot of roughhousing, right? And so that's my question. There must be an invitation that has presented itself that I'm not seeing yet in some way. And I know, because I've discussed this with Crystal and Lisa at length for myself. And that is that, thank you so much. I just saw your comment pop up, Heather, on the channel. I guess it must have some kind of, I must have it set up to give me notifications. Now, unless I did it wrong, please understand that comments will be held. I don't like to miss comments on my channel. I want to see every comment that folks give me and read it and respond to it if necessary. And so if you do comment on the new channel, please keep that in mind, that I hold those and review them at least once a day. Sometimes I'll skip a couple of days if I'm, doing something else elsewhere, but, and so there is something here about this, and I know it has to do with surrender for me. It won't be, it goes on here to say it won't be needed because your hair will already be in a mess. Your blood will already be pumping and you'll be sweating, laughing, smiling, and dancing. The great beloved will be alive in you, which is all that grand seducer ever wanted in the first place, even with all the jokes and horseplay. I got to tell you, my soul, my great beloved, is a joker and downright comedian most of the time, disarrayed and disheveled by the divine beloved. You are able to break out of a too ordinary world. You will explore the delightful consequences of rocked boats and upset apple carts being swept away by love as you dare to dream bolder and wilder dreams for yourself and the world. And here is where I'm going to close the book and just sit for a moment and feel the energy running through me, because truer words couldn't have just been spoken. I see very clearly where I called all of that, regardless of what YouTube excuses they're using. I created that. I created the demise of my own channel. And I promised myself that I won't lie to myself anymore. So by my own questioning, by my own, is this what I'm supposed to do? Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe it's not helpful to anyone. All of these things, I don't know. Edwin said, to be free for me is my own bubble of consciousness, which is always available. This is something that I am discovering for myself, Edwin, regardless of my outer circumstances, because that's what my inner guidance keeps showing me too. There's lots of big dreams I have of living in community with tiny houses and organic gardens, and lo and behold, there's an 11-acre property near me that is exactly that has come up for sale. All I need is 1.5 mil. And I'm just saying that I'm pulling that into my field as my possibility, but I am also, through the advice of my dear loving housemate, beginning to make moves right here where I am to move towards that, because if that were to present itself, I'm not ready. And I can no longer deny that to myself either. So for me, becoming sovereign really has more to do with the internal than it does the external. Oh, everything that has to do with the do, re, mi, and all of that. Oh, sure. But that's the 3D BS, man. That's where they get us all distracted because that's not where your sovereignty lie. Just in case you, and I'll tell you, for me, the past few years when we were all presented with a plethora of choices, I know, and everybody can feel into what I'm talking about there. We were all presented with a plethora of choices. Some beings went internal and asked themselves, is this for me? And got a no. And stood in that sovereignty. And some beings just went along blindly and said yes and regretted it. And some beings, on the fence, I don't have to tell y'all what happened, but I'm convinced that for me, that from sitting from my perspective, that was one of those kind of deals where it's like, here you go, this is you get to choose. There's been a lot of stuff in the world about I do not consent, right? Well, rather than not consenting, I'm just saying, I do not acquiesce to what you are trying to push on me. Because it is a matter of personal choice. It always is. I've heard folks say, well, no, that's not a choice. Well, yes, no, we always have a choice, in my view. I love what you said there. To be free for me is my own bubble of consciousness, which is always available. Lenny Kravitz did a song called Believe. And in that song, he talks about being free is a state of mind. And that is true. It is very true. Wow. Okay. So thank you for that little departure there, because I had to see that in a huge way. Soon you'll be able to find your orientation, even if everything you have once held on to appears to be shimmering and insubstantial, a mere dance of light rather than solid ground. This will become so easy for you because your orientation will flow from within, from the heart. And no matter what shifts and changes take place around you, your center will remain strong. And this is what I've been working on for myself here. This is what the beloved wants for you. Such peace and relief it shall bring to you. But perhaps some shaking about is required first, in case you are reluctant to give up some mainstays, unaware of how much they drain life away from your heart center. This oracle brings you this message also. There is something you are holding on to, a person, a place, a thing, a belief, a vision. Okay. And you need to let it go because it wants to grow. It may grow and change into something utterly different, or it may grow into exactly what you are imagining. Whichever outcome growth is happening, and you'll find you enjoy the way much more with greater flow and support and less bashing of your head against the proverbial brick wall if you just let it happen. Don't worry if it seems as though your world is coming to an end or you are losing something you once loved. This is just the shaking about of the great beloved to lead you into a deeper, sweeter dance of divine being and becoming. Put your focus into your heart and realize you are more ready than you think. Now shake those hips, stamp those feet, close your eyes and clap your hands. That's better already. Wow, I can't believe it actually said that. I love to dance every morning because of my physical situation. I do what I can as I can, right? And that's one of the things. Now, the second card that came out, and I am going to read this one because the fact that this one came out, it's card number 22, which is a master number. And it's the lion and the deer. And I don't know, there's something, of course, in all of these cards, I can see the toroidal shape. You all know that I use that as my thing on Facebook to represent, because I feel that is how the energy kind of flows in throughout my body. I mean, it also comes from other places as well, but I actually can feel it sort of like that, right? And that's the way it's always felt to me. And so, but the colors here are those that I see behind my closed eyes most often. The lion and the deer. When you enter the garden of the heart, you become fragrant like the rose. When you fly toward heaven, you become graceful like the angel. If you get burned like oil, you become brilliant. When you become thin like hair in yearning, your joy leads the way. You'll be the kingdom and the king. You'll be paradise and the guardian angel. You'll be infidelity and you'll be faith. You'll be the lion and you'll be the deer. I think that's true already, actually, on the most expansive level. We are everything. It is only this very concentrated, pinpoint focus through this one teensy beensy tiny perspective that source gets to experience a completely separate experience, one of its own making. And it's been built upon in this vessel over years and years of programming and conditioning. And now it feels as though that's why it's called the awakening to me. Now I see, as though the little being is awakening to this idea, this fact that there's more than just this programmed business that's going on in here, that this little voice that's been in here all the time is actually the soul that really wants to lead the way, but won't push, never push. That's why it's so easy to push that voice away, or at least for me. Let's just put it that way. You are the lion and the deer. You are bold, fierce, and vibrant, and you are silent, sweet, and gentle. If I should come to you in arrogance, you roar at me until my falsehood quakes in fear. So terrified, it gives up the game, and love's conquest happens yet again. If I should come to you in surrendered adoration, open to whatever you may wish, you are so gentle with me. Like a deer, you offer me nothing to fear or resist, so that I too become sweet and gentle, longing to submit to your tender ministrations. So then, I do not fear my own errors, for even if I stumble into arrogance, I shall be made wiser by your magnificent roar and become humble. Even if I become weak, I shall draw succor, evoking the tenderness in you. Whatever is needed to keep me true to love, is what you give me. For you are the holy lion, proud and mighty, and the sweet deer, gentle as the mildest breezes of spring. Hello, my old friend. Do you remember me? We are the oldest of friends, ancient soulmates we are, acquainted over many lifetimes past, and through many lessons learned together in the school of love. So here we meet again in this advanced spiritual training of the human experience, with the earth as our classroom. All my life, I've felt like that was the case. And I've moved in and out of that feeling throughout my years. But even before I called myself awake, I always felt like this was a school of some sort. We were here to learn. The moment is upon us to leave behind what we have once known and to open up to the great mystery of life again. Our souls leapt from the divine oneness through the river of forgetfulness and now dive into a body and a life. What a journey that leap begins. And I do feel like that's true. That's what I just said. That is the entire point. The only time we are actually separate and not one is the time we spend in these vessels. And we're going to laugh when we get out of here at how funny we were when we thought we wasn't all one. I just know that's going to be true. I'm telling you, I know it just feels so right smack onto me. I don't even know how to say. Let's see. So where did I leave off here? Yep, there we go. Let us embark on this studious adventure together. Let us honor the tiger and the lamb within each other, the lion and the deer. I can witness in you both the raging warrior who fights with unbreakable honor and the healer who brings together those things torn apart. Of course, for are we not all things? Are we not human and angel, animal and spirit? Are we not heaven and earth? Are we not divine? And in being divine, being all things are divine. So we are here together in the school of love, not for the soul who still adheres to preference instead of curiosity, not for the soul who craves comfort instead of devotion to divine adventure. We must be like lovers, you and I, if we are to take these lessons. We must be willing to become mad with passion, crazy enough to chase the great beloved, even if it means forgetting who we are for a time, to have the sacred delight of rediscovery, breaking some rules and looking like fools. Well, what could be greater than becoming a fool for love? What will do, that will do for us, that will do well. Let us be fools for love together. So shall we become study mates? We'll recognize each other, even in all of our varied garbs, bright or somber, wild or gentle. We'll become the most enthusiastic students in the school of love, urging each other on to ever greater feats of passion and devotion. How we shall outdo each other in grand gestures and our unwavering commitment. This oracle brings you a special message. You are rediscovering a part of yourself that has been lost or submerged underneath more practical concerns. Of course, if practicality is about survival, then learning to be your true self is the most essential and practical. Yeah, because, most of us are not. Most of us are not our true selves. We're putting on for others. Or at least I was most of my life. How am I to behave? you know, that kind of thing. What will advance me the furthest? Well, when you're, you know, when it's a dog eat dog world and you're buying into that BS, that's a lot of it, right? And so, goodness me, if you're not a shark, you're just, you know, not much of anything. All other paths lead to death of the soul. I really feel like that's true, man. I really do. I feel like that is so, and I feel like I was running myself right off the planet until circa 2012, and it took almost 2 full years for that shift to actually mean something within my physical body. So, you know, yeah, absolutely. You are asked to bear the chaos of this rediscovery. It may be that talents from this or other lifetimes are reawakened and cause you some discomfort at first, even though they will ultimately bring joy and greater fulfillment. Boy, that brings forward a whole lot about how I've misjudged things in my life, where I held them to be horrible things that I went through and such suffering I had to go through it. I was such a victim. And on the other side of it now, I see where I had to go through that so I could learn that, so I could do that, so I could figure this out. And now over here on this other side of all of that, oh boy, that victimhood thing that happened, that was the best damn thing that ever happened. But sometimes we forget about that. We just want to hold on to the hurt from that over there and make them pay, instead of seeing that, excuse me, but they did you one hell of a damn service. And you want a what? You want an apology? Excuse me? What? How does that make any sense? You know, I've really been feeling into that for myself, right? I have an ex that I have a child with, and he was so mean and hateful and physically, mentally, verbally, psychologically abusive, right? Why would I hate him? Why would I have anything except for the absolute gratitude for him? All right. That's something I had to see, that most of us haven't been able to get to even that point, right? So, so that's why I wanted to bring that forward here, because that's what that was showing me. You are asked to bear the chaos of this rediscovery. It may be that talents from this or other lifetimes are reawakened and cause you some discomfort at first, even though they will ultimately bring joy and greater fulfillment. The discomfort may be around how those talents are best expressed, about overcoming shame, guilt, doubt, or other judgments. It may even be about who you are, if you now admit your talent or other emerging personality traits. Perhaps what is being unearthed in you now is darker. Your sacred rage, refusal to accept disrespect in your life, your inability to tolerate lies and deceptions. Well, then you are the lion and the deer. That is nature. There is to be both in the world. You are not becoming contradictory or hypocritical. You are becoming whole. The minute I finally saw judgment is more about opinion, morality on the whole is more opinion than anything else, based on experiences had in the body and programming and conditioning that different societies, cultures have perpetuated over, centuries, eons, generations, that sort of thing. And therefore it's just you hold everything as an opinion, and everybody has their right to it, right? To me, I finally see that that is really at the core. For me, that's the easiest way for me to stay in my center, and because we all make judgments, all of us. This is the other thing that has come really clear to me. That's the only way I can judge whether something is right for me, is to allow it into my field, mull it around, see if it's for me or not. What I don't, if it's not for me, I don't have the right to demand that everybody else now feel the same way I do. I mean, that's what we all got to get into. We all got to get there. And that at its core is what sovereignty is about. And that at its core is what we're witnessing on the grand stage. Are you gonna stand in your center and say, okay, I see what you got going on over there. You could do that if you wanna, but I'm not gonna participate later. Because we don't have to get all up in arms. We just don't have to participate. That's what I think. And as soon as we all stop participating, I got a feeling they'll get the memo. Because more and more people are seeing the silliness of it, right? Because it just has to. The guidance this oracle brings you is that you shall prosper most now if you are willing to unbecome what you have believed yourself to be. It was never really true anyway, that view. It was partial at best, and just a view, an identity, not a genuine reality, which I realize now about myself in so many ways. Some of your previous sense of self shall likely come with this transition into the fuller experience of your being, and some of that previous identity shall be shed as far too limiting. It just won't feel true for you anymore, if it ever really did. And part of that can be due to timeline jumping too. You know, I've had that experience. Any crisis or confusion this brings you shall be temporary fuel to ignite the divine fires within. They simmer into life, cooking you from within, bringing all of your flavors, spicy and sweet, bitter and sour, into perfect balance, so that your being, your presence, becomes an exquisite dish served up as a divine feast. I experience many beings in my life that I feel this way about. You shall become nourishment for the world in perfect balance. Your being will hold all, for it holds all within it. It will deny nothing and become a tonic to feed every taste, every appetite, every hunger, and every deficiency. What an extraordinary, sublime meal you will be. How your presence shall nourish the world. And it all begins with shedding the either and the or, and recognizing instead the all. With such wild permission for unconditional love, you shall strive in your beingness and feed the hungry world with a meal complete, satisfying, and exquisite. Honestly, this also is giving me to say that I know that I have still held judgment in my field on those whom I adjudge as asleep. And I'm working on that within myself, because honestly, I don't know what they've chosen to experience in this particular existence that they find themselves in. They are another part of me. Outside of this vessel, they are another portion of the all. having a unique experience, holy only unto them, known only unto them within that container within which they reside in that moment. Who am I to tell them that they can't believe or experience whatever it is that they're trying to believe or experience? And this goes for it all. I hope this was helpful for those of you that found that I was live and came and listened in today. Please do go to my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila on YouTube. And you can do YouTube at Sassy Seer Sheila, I think, and that should bring you right up. I don't know. I don't know when it will be. Jennifer Brown, yay, and Fawn. Fawn has to leave. I gotcha. I don't know how many I have to have subscribed before I can start going live over there again, but that is the intention at this moment, at least anyway. And I wanted to say again, Lisa's self-mastery masterclass, her first one, is today at 3 p.m. If you missed this notification because of all the craziness and you wish to attend, and you're my friend on Facebook, you can reach out to myself or Lisa if you're friends with her on Facebook in private message and ask for the link. Or you can email Rush Solutions TFT. That stands for Tools for Transformation, but it's Rush Solutions TFT at gmail.com and ask to attend the first of a 10-part workshop masterclass of self-mastery with Lisa and her team. Okay, so that's it for now. You just never know when I'm going to pop up, when I'm not. I'm hoping I just saw a message as I was coming live from my friend Andrew Foss from astrogardens.com and Oracle Report on Facebook. I'm hoping we're going to do a conversation on Monday and for the accidental astrologer. So I hope you guys, if, like I said, if you have not subscribed there, and go to Rumble, find Conscious Conversation Central on Rumble and subscribe over there, because that, so far, they're not giving me any trouble at all over there, but I just don't know how to operate Rumble. So eventually, whenever it's meant to happen or whatever, if it is meant to happen and this is supposed to go bigger or wider than I know how to do or feel drawn to do, someone will come along that wants to assist or, whatever. So until that time, I love you guys. I hope that you will continue to move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is just a matter of your own perspective, and you can change it at any moment. Be well, my friends.